going on, y'all? What's going on? All right, so today we have a pretty fun video. Pretty fun. Let me drink some water. That's not piss, by the way. I wouldn't be drinking piss in front of the camera. I only do that in my own time. That's just what is it? Apple cider vinegar. You know, it gives your water that punch. It's also good for you. So, anyways, to the video. Today we're gonna be talking about daddy issues. Not my daddy issues, but I don't have daddy issues. But my experience with a girl with daddy issues. So I was thinking, like, this is kind of like a long story. So I thought it would be fun to do like 2 parts of this. So there's gonna be 2 parts. So let's do this shit. All right, getting right into it. Let's see where we start here. So we start in a place called Legoland. You know, as you know, or you hopefully know by now, I worked at Legoland. You know, senior. It was probably like 8 months. Not even. It felt like 2 days ago, but it was like 6 months ago. So I worked at Legoland. You know, this was at the beginning. So there's this girl, I won't say her name. Actually, we'll call her Gal. We'll call her Gal. So Gal, no, that's fucking stupid. We'll call her Megan. We'll call her Megan. So Megan had daddy issues. And this is how it started. So at Legoland, you know, I had these questions that I wanted I was working on starting businesses, you know, and I heard like, well, business is just solving problems. So I would ask people all around the park, you know, what's 2 questions, like, what is one desire that you have? And then what is one problem that you have? Or flip that around, like ask the problem first and then ask them for the desire. So I would just go around and ask people these questions, and I made a lot of friends with doing that. And I gained kind of a reputation of, you know, just a social person. Even in, you know, in high school and in the past, I haven't really been a very social person, you know? And so I kind of and then I went on my, in high school, like I talked to like one girl probably one girl, I'm not even kidding. So, and then bear in mind, I only went to high school for like 2 years, and then CV, pandemic hit, and junior year and senior year kind of didn't exist. I just finished it online because I hated school, and I was like, fuck it. I was going through like I was going through like a dark night of the soul, if you know what that is. You know, it's a spiritual thing. And I was on my self-improvement journey, and that was kind of like the hermit phase, and I just moved from there. So I went through that, and you know, I kind of got this reputation as like a ladies' man, and I don't know why I did this, a ladies' man and a social person. And I really give it all to, like, you know, semen retention, spirituality, self-improvement. And it was kind of like, well, anyone could do this. If like I can do it, I was literally the shyest person ever. I remember like being a little kid and my mom saying, oh, he's shy, he's just shy. Like I was literally programmed to be that way, but then I'm breaking out of it, and I still am to this day. If I can do it, literally anyone can do it. So back to the story. Yeah, we go around asking people these questions. So one day, Megan was in the entertainment department, and she was with the soon-to-be homie. I'll say his real name, Melvin. Shouts out Melvin. You know, they were just kicking it there at this like little like globe section. You know, she was in the entertainment department, so she would just stand there and entertain, I guess. So y'all see the beard coming in. So I went over there and talked to them. I was like, fuck it. I wasn't going up there to like try and get her number or some shit. I was just like asking the questions. I was just coming from a genuine place. So I asked her like, what's one problem that she has? I forgot what she fucking said to that one. But then I asked her what's one desire that she said, and she said she couldn't tell me. I was like, can't tell me, the fuck. So I asked Melvin, and he was like, one desire, I think it was like to be a basketball player or some shit. And his one problem was his feet were too big. Pause. So, oh, with Megan's desire, she said, no, with Melvin's desire, I asked him, and Megan's was like, his one desire is me. And we just started laughing. I said some funny shit after that. And, you know, we dapped up and I just went on my way. And from that interaction, like, I kind of knew and kind of didn't know she was like, there was attraction, but I just shrugged it off. Just said, fuck it. So a few days later, this all happened in like a 6-month span, by the way. That's why I'm putting it into 2 parts. So a few days later, I went to the same place and she was there. So I was like, I knew her name. So I was like, what's up, Megan? And we were just chilling, talking. And, you know, they were cleaning up. There was all like Legos all over the floor and shit. So I had my broom and dustpan. I was the janitor. So I started like sweeping up the shit. And they need help. So I started sweeping up the Legos like to make it easier. And we just started talking, and I was just joking around. You know, that's one thing about girls. Like, they love when you're humorous. They love when you just joke around with them. Like when you tease them. And that's like a skill you also build, like humor. Just finding humor in like everything. So I was just joking around with her, and there was like a moment where I was like, I was picking something off the wall, like a Lego off the wall, and you could tell she was like really, the attraction was like real. There was like a lot of polarity, and cause she got like really close. Like really close. That's also a thing about her. Like, she would literally like suck my dick in the fucking bathroom. She offered, but looking back, maybe I would have done it. Maybe not, but I didn't, because, you know, I had my wits about me and I didn't want to get fired, so I didn't. We probably could have gotten away with it, to be honest. So back to the story, and from that point on, like, I knew there was like something happening. So again, a few days later, there was like no one in the park. It was like fucking nuclear wasteland, because it was freezing outside. It was windy. It was like kind of snowing. So I was at the same place, and this time there was Melvin again, and we were just talking, chilling, and I was like just teasing the fuck out of her, like. I was teasing the fuck out of her, and just being like, I'm goofy, but it's like kind of like a mature goofy. It's not like fucking retarded, like you just make shitty ass jokes and you're a clown. No, it's kind of like I'm a mature goofy. You know, I can be serious. I can be like immature, maturely. If that makes sense. Like maturely immature. I don't fucking know. Something like that. So after that happened, it was windy, snowy. I said something like, because she smokes weed, and I was like, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. And I was like, do you smoke weed in the woods? And she was like, I love smoking weed in the woods. And yeah, I just started teasing her about that. And from there, kind of took off. And again, a few days later, Melvin came up to me and was like, yo, she fuck with you. She wants your number. And I was like, he actually said it like that. She was like, he's got some like fucking, he's like a big ass nigga, like tall, not big, but like tall. He was like, he fuck with you. So, you know, I gave him my number so he can give, I gave him my number so he can give it to Megan. So that went down, and this is where it kind of gets crazy. Like first day, not even in like a 7-hour period, I was actually working. Like I couldn't even answer my phone. So I was working, and then when I checked my phone, she was like, she texted me like 7 times. And Melvin texted me. He was like, yo, why aren't you texting her back? She wants to know. I was like, fuck, nigga, fuck. The fuck? I just got my fucking, I just got it. Like, dude, chill. And yeah, and later that night, I was reading. I was ready to go to bed. And she was like, what you doing? I was like, reading. and she was like, you want to come over and fuck? I was like, what? You want to come over and fuck? What? Yeah, dude, no. So, obviously I didn't go because I don't have a car, and I'm at my parents' house, and if I left, it would have created a whole thing I didn't want to deal with, and I wouldn't even be dumb enough to do. So I told her, I was like, nah, I'm reading, you know, I'm ready to go to sleep. She was like, she just kept pushing it. I was like, no. Sometimes you just gotta say no. So I went to sleep. Now this kept happening. Like, this was going on like for like weeks, for like 2 weeks probably, until I like finally said, all right, Monday, going over your house. And she was like, all right, we're gonna throw a party. Just for some reason, she had like a weird fascination with like, she have a weird, it's the girls with daddy issues that have like a weird like fantasies. I'm not judging, like, I'm not saying it's bad, but they have like almost like a dark twisted fantasy, almost. Oh my god. They have dark twisted fantasies. And the thing about like with daddy issues, I'm not saying all, but my experience, they have like very low self-esteem, and they almost like want to be abused and like talked down, like not talked down about, but like they want to be like abused and just like treated like they're nothing almost. And I literally couldn't do that to her. Like, I didn't of course sometimes like I would fake it, but it wouldn't be like, no. I was like, nah, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. I was like, it's very tricky stuff. Like, so where was I? Oh yeah, I said I was gonna go over her house on Monday, so I did that. This is like the last part of the video before I go into part 2. So I did that. I went over her house. Yeah, she was like 1 year older than me. She was like 1 year older than me. She graduated high school. I was still in high school at the same time I was graduating that year. So I was still in high school and she graduated. And when I went to her house, I knew she had a problem, because, you know, the house was like a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. And her parents, you know, they're 2 women together. Her parents are gay, which is not a problem. But, and she would repeatedly tell me that she had daddy issues and she hated her dad and she really didn't know her dad. She had a deadbeat dad. So, yeah. So, it showed in the way she was living. Like, she didn't have a father figure. Because she would easily, like, give herself up to me when I knew her for a week. It's like, come on. Where are all the dads at, nigga? And he was black. Like, come on. This isn't even a joke. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not joking. So, yeah, I went into her house. She immediately wanted to fuck. And her mom was right outside the door. Like, she wanted to, like, suck my dick and then fuck. Like, when her mom was right outside the door. I was like, are you for real? Like, I was genuinely like appalled. Like, I did not expect that. Well, I kind of expected it, but like, but like for your mom to be right outside the door, like not even like 10 feet away, literally. And yeah, I'll get it. Her house like had, you know, good sound, like blocking, but nah, son. Nah. Oh my God. So that happened. Yeah. And I didn't have a condom, so I was not gonna fuck. I'm not retarded. So, yeah, we cuddled, you know, that was about it. So I left. And before I left, she was like, Daddy, please stay. I was like, all right, I gotta go. And yeah, it was tempting, but I was seeing another girl at the time, so it was almost like, it was kind of easier not to do anything. So, you know, I'm pretty good with that. Like, I'm not really a lustful type of person. I'm good at semen retention. I'm good at, you know, being respectful towards women. Probably because that's how I was raised. So I'm pretty good at that. I'd say pretty good, like, no, I'm good at that. So I left and I came out the house smelling like weed. And also, like, she had nothing going for her. And it's like, can you blame her for that? Like, because no one gave her guidance at all. And yeah, she had a therapist, but like, she told me, you know, she takes medicine, she goes to therapy. I was like, fuck. And I learned all this through time. Like, it slowly came obvious to me that, you know, this isn't a real thing. This is literally just like, fuck, then leave. Which I didn't do. Because I really, you know, I never lived that lifestyle. I never want to. I don't think that leads to anything. It just leads to, you know, emptiness. You know, some people will disagree with me. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. It's just what I believe. So, yeah, this went on. And I'm going to end it here. So, yeah, she really had nothing going for her. Like, I FaceTime her once, and she was smoking weed in a shed by herself. Like, and she kept saying, like, call me pretty. Like, and I was like, fuck is this? Like, why am I wasting my time with this shit? Which I'm glad I didn't. I barely spent any time with her. I was like, because I slowly eased myself into it. Like, now I know better than that. So I'm glad I did that. And the rest of the story is for part 2. Hope y'all had a good laugh. Get ready for part 2. Peace.